Eternal Father, bless our land. Guard us with thy mighty hand. Keep us free from evil powers. Be our light through countless doors. Through all leaders, great defender, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be us forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love. Teach us true respect for all, the response to duty's call. Strengthen us, the weak, to cherish. Give us vision, lest we perish. Knowledge send us, heavenly Father, grant true wisdom from above. Justice, truth be us forever. Jamaica, land we love. Jamaica, 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 land we love.
Let us pray. Our Father in heaven, great is thy faithfulness. You have been with us since the beginning, and we thank you for being with us to the very end. We thank you for the success of our law school journey, for strengthening us against each new challenge, for granting us focus, direction, and endurance. We thank you for our families who have sacrificed and supported us, for our tutors and administrators who have challenged and cared for us, for this institution, which has given us a firm foundation, and our fellow colleagues who have made our burdens light and each day a little brighter. We praise you for your perfect timing, so that despite the chaos of this pandemic, we can rest assured that your plans for us are unfolding exactly as they should. Give us courage in these uncertain times. Grant us your guidance. Help us to lean not on our own understanding, but to acknowledge you in all our ways, firm in our belief that you have our best in mind. Help us leave our anxiety behind and walk confidently in the spirit of power and love and a sound mind. As we celebrate our graduation today, we pray for your blessing on our tomorrow. Continue to be a lamp to our feet and a light to our path as we embark the legal profession. Help us to commit to you whatever we do, so that you will establish our plans. As we enter new spaces and relationships, we pray for discernment. Let each connection be good and fruitful. When doors are closed and opportunities seem scarce, remind us you have plans to prosper us, to give us hope and a future. Let your thoughts become our thoughts so that we are never discouraged. Keep our eyes fixed only on you. Help us to make wise decisions and honor our commitments. As we bask in this success, guide us to our purpose. Allow every gift and treasure you placed in our lives to flourish and bring you glory. Father, fill our days with more of your joy. Make us bold to face the challenges ahead, always sure of your favor in our lives. Shine your face on us and cover us with your peace. In your name we pray. Amen.
Ms. O. Carol Aina, CD, Principal. Sir Tapley Seaton, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis. Council of Legal Education Principals, staff and students of the Norman Manley Law School, graduates, ladies and gentlemen. It gives me great pleasure to offer my personal congratulations to you, the 2021 graduating class of the Norman Manley Law School. You share with your colleagues at the Eugene Dupuche Law School and the Hugh Woodin Law School a singularly distinctive moment of well-deserved celebration. Together, you are embarking on a journey as attorneys at law in a world experiencing unprecedented technological developments and the challenges of the pandemic. As graduates of the Manley Law School, you are proudly graduating from a school whose founding ideals birthed a Caribbean legal education certificate, which recognized and has stayed true amidst all challenges to the ideal of the teaching of legal skills and techniques with an acute focus on the impact of law as an instrument of orderly social and economic change. Your school is named after and in celebration of one of Jamaica's finest sons, a brilliant Caribbean visionary for whom excellence was an eternal watchword, with a passion for being Caribbean and who employed the law as a social instrument of growth, governance, and change. The same is true for Sir Hugh Wooden of Trinidad and Tobago and Eugene Dupuche of the Bahamas. With your successful graduation, you are being celebrated, saluted on your joining the fraternity of an honorable Caribbean-bred profession, with the confident expectation that, challenges notwithstanding, you will continue to contribute to that rich vein of pedigree of a Caribbean people trained within our shores and given to the development of a Caribbean jurisprudence. Under the resilient, creative, and adept leadership of Principal Aina and her indefatigable team of academic, administrative, and technical staff, with the support of the entire council family, you are being handed the torch of the founders, the Legal Education Certificate, to continue to blaze trails of opportunity to meet challenges and for applying purpose in everything you do as attorneys. When you matriculated into the Manley Law School, would you have imagined that your entire period of learning and instruction, from your lecturers and tutors under your assessments and examinations at the law school, could have been accomplished all online and as seamlessly as it has been? That you would have been able successfully to participate in and be exposed throughout to the practical training and learning from the skills of and working with practitioner attorneys, attending court on behalf of your clients, and all this in a virtual environment. These accomplishments on your graduation day are very importantly a tribute to your inherent resilience and intuitive intelligence, each and every one of you. So here you are today, graduates. Congratulations. Because of your inner strengths, fueled by the passion of the founders of a Caribbean legal education, of the dream that they all shared with you, witness this day. Hold your torch aloft. Proclaim that you are equipped and are ready to step forward into the unknown, an unknown which challenges you to be the best that you are. I'm proud for you of the reports of your rise into the challenges already, the challenges of the pandemic, and of your surmounting them. In these last 2 years, you have shown yourself worthy of the investment that our society and your loved ones have made to bring you here, to be change agents and leaders of orderly social and economic change in a time of great challenge and flux, and yet a time of opportunity. The Council of Legal Education is 50 years of age this year. It is accordingly fitting and salutary that you are the very first class of graduates to emerge from a fully virtual learning and teaching educational process, to herald the fact that as an institution, the Council has stood the test of time in the living evidence of your graduation 2021 and every step you take henceforth as attorneys in giving service to your clients.
Mr. Reginald Armour, SC, Chairman of the Council of Legal Education, our esteemed guest speaker, His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton, GCMG, CVO, QC, JP, Governor General of St. Kitts and Nevis, principals of the Hugh Wooding Law School and Eugene Dupuche Law School, staff and students of the Manley Law School, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Graduates, it is my distinct privilege to bring you the principal's report for the academic year 2020-2021. Congratulations to the class of 2021. Class of 2021, when we thought 2020 was as bad as it could get with this pandemic, in 2021 the pandemic stretched on and you had to complete your final year entirely remotely. Imagine remote mock trials, remote legal aid, but you did it. It was yet another year for you to dig deeper and to find your resilience, your agility, and your innovation. So here you are, receiving your legal education certificate. I congratulate you on all that you have been able to achieve, accomplish, and attain. Today you have triumphed over all the odds. I want now to acknowledge the students who are named on the Principal's Roll of Honor this year. Despite probably feeling very cheated by the hands of fate, you decided you would be the authors of your own fate and you would excel and leave your mark. Many of these students managed extracurricular activities as well, so big congratulations to you. They are Giselle Campbell, who was also the co-chair of the Norman Manley Lecture Committee, Paige Gordon, Vice President of the Norman Manley Law School Students Association, and co-moderator par excellence for Silk and moderator for the Norman Manley Lecture. Samantha Grant, Oralist and Jessup Member 2021, Rosemary Reynolds, Ashika Robinson, Anne-Marie Stewart, and Helena Thompson-White. Yes, all women. They have achieved a minimum of 6 A's over the 2-year period and passed all of the prescribed courses at one first sitting. I wish to thank all the staff members at the Norman Manley Law School. When we realized that 2021 was going to be another year in which we would have to continue to deliver the programs remotely, the departments and units, the Senior Tutor's Office, the Registrar's Department, the Legal Aid Clinic, the Library, the Human Resource Department, and our Quality Assurance Unit, and of course our dedicated full-time staff and our associate tutors all adopted an agile approach and embraced the various digital skills training required to upgrade to ensure that all the operations of the school could continue. So the new school year began with our first virtual graduation ceremony for the class of 2020. The ceremony was pre-recorded, as is this one. However, our 2020 graduates reported that despite the format, the recording they received made them feel very special. So I'm hoping that 2021 graduates, you will also feel the same and that you will take the time to celebrate your achievements with your family and friends. I wish to thank the Registrar's Department and in particular the Assistant Registrar, Ms. Denise Reed and her support staff and the recording team for making all of these arrangements. As the pandemic stretched on, class of 2021, you were phenomenal. You ensured that virtually, no pun intended, all the normal activities took place in a virtual space. In fact, some clubs were even more active in this space than before. And I'm going to give a summary of the activities of the club in no particular order, starting with Women in Action, co-chaired by Ms. Deandra McPherson and first-year student Ms. Alicia Ramdal. Hosted several events over the year, including recognizing International Women's Day, penning a letter to the editor of The Gleaner discussing the need for change concerning Jamaica's abortion laws. The Human Rights Committee also provided a space for students to increase their awareness of human rights issues, debating the treatment of mentally ill persons in conflict with the law. The NSARS protest in Nigeria, they also looked at the abortion debate and participated in the United Nations campaign to commemorate International Violence Against Women, liaising with the Women in Crisis Center. Men at Work, while not achieving their main objective of partnering with the local high school to facilitate mentoring sessions with the boys there, sought to mentor within our own school and held a series of interactive discussions to assist their peers in maneuvering what was indeed a very difficult year. Mr. John Mark Reed was the chair of that committee. The Environmental Society also ensured that it continued to promote awareness of environmental issues. They hosted a number of guest speakers, including Mrs. Lolita Davis Mattis, attorney at law and environmental law lecturer at the University of the West Indies, to discuss the issue as to whether or not natural objects have legal standing. I really need to ask them what the answer to that question is. And Mr. DeMart Williams also came from the Forestry Department and spoke about the role of the Forestry Department in protecting the environment. And there is this goal, and this is now a tongue twister, to plant 3 million trees in 3 years. So we'll see how that goes. The Little Red Dress Society, which acts as a coaching and a mentoring group to advance and empower women at Norman Manley Law School, were also extremely active. There were 49 members of that group. They had a range of activities every month from October 2020 to March 2021. The Norman Manley Law School Student Executive, led by Mr. Nathaniel Amore, President of the Norman Manley Law School Students Association, are really to be commended for the range of activities they facilitated throughout the year. Ms. Cheyenne Hilton, the academic representative, and the class speaker for this graduation, executed Career Week virtually. She also managed to partner with the Jamaican Bar Association to ensure a formal launch of the joint mentorship program. As the Sports and Games Committee Chair, Ms. Danielle Watson and her team introduced Zumba sessions titled Actus Reus, which enabled performance and attendance online. If you wore your house color, you gained points for Sports Day. I dared not enter Zumba. The virtual Sports Day consisted of 11 events, which included bun eating, soda drinking, push-up, and planks. I could have done the planks, but I didn't. I think 2021 was really a year when we might all have found it easy to not think of others and just focus on self and trying to get through this challenging year. But not so with the Norman Manley Law School students. I was amazed by the efforts of the Children's Outreach Project led by Mr. Charles Young. The members ensured that they executed their outreach project at the Sir John Golding Rehabilitation Center. They had to readjust their initial plans because, as you know, there were ever-changing COVID-19 restrictions. But nonetheless, they were devoted to serving others. And as you look at the slides, they tell the story. I will admit, waiting for Mr. Tahir Thompson, the Cultural Entertainment Chair, to tell me that the annual Silk event had to be cancelled. Not so at all. Silk 2020 can be dubbed as a history-making production by the class of 2021. The production, named Silk 2020, a Yuletide Talent Showcase, was live-streamed from the Philip Sherlock Center for the Creative Arts and had an audience from across the region and beyond. It featured distinguished alumni, including Mrs. Caroline Cameron Reed, QC, Her Honor Michelle Salmon, and Mr. Hugh Faulkner, Indicom Commissioner, as well as UE and NMLS staff members, Ms. Rose Cameron from the Faculty of Law at Mona, Mr. Norman Davis, Mr. Sinduata Gabe, Ms. Meridian Kohler, and Mrs. Casey Jean Graham Davis, all performed. Now let me tell you, if you have not yet bought your virtual device with these outstanding performances of music, dance, speech, and drama, you are certainly missing something. I really applaud Mr. Thompson and his team. I was also thinking that the Norman Manley Lecture Committee would indicate challenges. Not so. The co-chairs, Mr. Chevant Hamilton and Ms. Giselle Campbell, kept me engaged in the planning of the lecture online via YouTube live stream. The panel discussion involving specialists in human rights and constitutional law, as well as medical practitioners, offered view on the ongoing topic as to whether governments can mandate citizens to take the vaccine. There were over 1,000 live attendees on the YouTube live stream, and within 4 days of the live event, over 7,000 views had been amassed. So they were extremely busy. The American Caribbean Law Initiative was hosted by the Cayman Law School and was held virtually. Norman Manley Law School was ably represented by Morgan Kellier, Winston Jarrett, and Daniel Watson. While it's true that we had to cancel some mooting and mock trial competitions for the year, we received news that the 2021 Jessup International Competition, which is of course considered the mother of the mooting competitions, would be held, but of course as a fully global online event. In addition to that, the competition would be spread over an 8-week period. Well, normally students would travel. They would spend about 2 weeks in Washington, D.C. in the face-to-face competition, and so there would really be motivation to take part in the competition. No, they were not going to travel. They would be involved in the competition for 2 months instead of 2 weeks, and so I really thought no students would apply. Where is the carrot? Nonetheless, we had a team. Members of the Jessup 2021 team: Samantha Grant, oralist; Winston Jarrett, oralist; Daniel Watson, oralist; John Mark Reed, oralist; and Kimoy Cohen, researcher, all coached by our alumni, dedicated Mr. Mark Ramsey. I went to meet with them. I said, guys, this is such a long haul. I do not want it to affect your preparation for examinations. It's going up right to the time of exam. I thought they would be relieved. They were not. They indicated to me how distraught they would be if they were not allowed to compete, and promised me that they would not fail any exams, and they kept their promises and did extremely well. So the Norman Manley Law School Jessup team qualified for the advanced rounds, were ranked in the top 168 teams out of 700 teams, and the oralists were ranked in the top 25% of the preliminary rounds and top 10% in the advanced rounds. They have promised to be members of the past Jessupers alumni group and to assist future teams so that Norman Manley will soon, very soon, bring home that trophy. So it has been a very busy year, and our students have really triumphed against all the odds. So graduating class, I'm going to ask you to cherish the people you love and the people who have supported you through this journey. Try to be loyal to the institutions that have played a part and contributed to your station in life. And despite the technological revolution and the various online and virtual platforms, remember that you are not a gadget, and you must control the information that you share. In closing, class of 2021, the Council of Legal Education has a philosophy about the lawyer who is at the center of the Caribbean legal education and training. It is someone who appreciates their responsibility as members of an honorable profession, who is very acutely aware of the plight of those less fortunate than them and desires to serve, and who is passionate, because it is passion that drives excellence, understands the duty to maintain high ethical standards, has a desire to strengthen the rule of law, and understands that this training prepares them to take their place across the region as statesmen and as leaders in every sphere of life. You have proved your mettle, class of 2021. You can take your place with others from this institution, which is etched in history, anchored in legal education, and serving a region. Thank you.
Mr. Chairman, I present these persons who, through a course of study and by examinations, continuous assessment and practical training, have satisfied the requirements for the award of the Legal Education Certificate. I'll commence the presentation by highlighting the persons on the principal's roll of honor. Giselle Campbell. Ms. Campbell has been awarded the following: the Council of Legal Education Prize for the Most Outstanding Student over 2 years, 2019-2021, the Sir Colin McGregor Memorial Prize, awarded to the Most Outstanding Year 2 Student over 2 years, 2019-2021, in the areas of academic achievement, interest in the Legal Aid Clinic, and the Norman Manley Law School, discipline and attitude to society. The Keith Simmons Memorial Prize, awarded to the Most Outstanding Jamaican Student based on grades for 2 years at the Norman Manley Law School, 2019-2021. The Grand Stewart Phillips and Company Prize, awarded to the student with the best performance in Civil Procedure and Practice 1 and 2 over 2 years, 2019-2021. The Samood and Johnson Prize, awarded to the Year 2 student with the best overall performance in advocacy and participation in community development-based activities 2020-2021. The Courtenay Coy LLP Prize, first place, awarded to the most outstanding students over 2 years, 2019-2021. The Hector Joseph Memorial Prize, awarded to the Year 2 student who, having passed the examination at the first sitting, had the best combined performance over 2 years in criminal practice and procedure, legal drafting and interpretation, civil procedure and practice 1 and 2, trial advocacy, and demonstrated discipline and attitude to society 2019-2021. The Sir Henry I.C. Brown Prize, awarded to the Year 2 student who, having passed the examination at the first sitting, had the best combined performance over 2 years in Civil Procedure and Practice 1, Criminal Practice and Procedure, and Trial Advocacy 2019-2021. The Council of Legal Education Prize for the Most Outstanding Student 2019-2020. The Douglas Fletcher Memorial Prize, awarded to the first-year student found to be outstanding in the areas of academic achievement, interest in the law school, discipline, and attitude to society 2019-2020. The H.H. Dunn Memorial Prize for Best Performance in Legal Drafting 2019-2020, the Michael Bryan Memorial Prize, awarded to the first-year student from the County of Cornwall who has an overall A grade and good performance in advocacy and co-curricular activities 2019-2020. The Vassiana and Whittingham Prize for Best Performance in Criminal Practice and Procedure and Civil Procedure and Practice 1 2019-2020. Ms. Campbell also shared in the Keith Stanford Sobian Memorial Prize, awarded to the students whose overall performance and contribution to student activities and interest in the Norman Manley Law School were outstanding and were listed on the Principal's Roll of Honor 2020-2021. The Raphael Codling Memorial Book Prize, awarded to the most outstanding students over 2 years, 2019-2021. The Raphael Codling Memorial Book Prize, awarded to the most outstanding Year 2 students, 2020-2021. Paige Gordon. Ms. Gordon has been awarded the Chairman's Prize, awarded to the final year student with best performance in evidence and forensic medicine, law of remedies, and civil procedure and practice 2, 2020-2021. Ms. Gordon also shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021, the Keith Stanford Sobian Memorial Prize 2020-2021, the Andrea Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize, awarded to students most involved in student activities and showed most interest in the law school 2020-2021. The Richard Wayne Lee and Charlene James Jarrett Memorial Special Prize, awarded to students who were most involved in the Protocol and Etiquette Program and co-curricular activities 2020-2021. Samantha Grant. Ms. Grant has been awarded the Dorcas White Prize, awarded to the student for best performance in law of remedies examination with demonstrated involvement in the co-curricular activities of the law school 2019-2020. Ms. Grant shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021, the Keith Stanford Sobian Memorial Prize for being on the Principal's Roll of Honor 2020-2021, the Philip C. Jessup Memorial Mooting Competition Prize 2020-2021, and the Andrea Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize 2020-2021. Rosemary Reynolds. Ashika Robinson. Ms. Robinson shared in the Keith Stanford Sobian Memorial Prize for being on the Principal's Roll of Honor. Anne-Marie Stewart. Helena Thompson White. Mrs. Thompson White has been awarded the Council of Legal Education Prize for the Most Outstanding Year 2 Student 2020-2021, the Courtenay Coy LLP Prize, second place, awarded to the Most Outstanding Students over 2 years 2019-2021, the Grand Stewart Phillips and Company Prize, awarded to the final year student with the best performance in conveyancing and registration of title 2020-2021. The Peter McDonald Carson Prize, awarded to the student with the best performance in legal drafting and interpretation, landlord and tenant examinations with demonstrated involvement in co-curricular activities of the law school 2019-2020. Mrs. Thompson White also shared in the Raphael Codling Memorial Book Prize, awarded to the most outstanding Year 2 students 2020-2021, and the Raphael Codling Memorial Book Prize awarded to the most outstanding students over 2 years, 2019-2021. And that brings me to the end of the principal's roll of honor. The following persons completed the academic requirements for the award of the Legal Education Certificate. Class Speaker, Cheyenne Hilton. Ms. Hilton has been awarded the Norman Manley Memorial Prize, awarded to the final year Jamaican student who is outstanding in the areas of academic achievement, interest in the legal aid clinic, interest in the Norman Manley Law School, discipline and attitude to society 2020-2021. The Raphael Codling Memorial Prize for the Class Speaker 2020-2021. The Bruce B. Barker Memorial Prize, awarded to the final year Jamaican student for the best performance in Civil Procedure and Practice 2 2020-2021. Ms. Hilton shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021, the Raphael Codling Memorial Prize for the most outstanding Year 2 students 2020-2021, the Angel Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize awarded to students most involved in student activities and showed most interest in the law school 2020-2021. Denise Allen. Ricardo Allen. Alvin Alston. Danielia Alvaranga. Ms. Alvaranga has been awarded the Council of Legal Education Prize for the Most Improved Year 2 student, the UHARD Prize for Best Performance in Conveyancing and Registration of Title and Law of Association. Ms. Alvaranga shared in the Raphael Codling Memorial Book Prize awarded to the Most Outstanding Year 2 students 2020-2021. Nathaniel Amore. Mr. Amore shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021, the Andrea Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize awarded to the students who are most involved in student activities and showed most interest in the law school 2020-2021. Robert Bailey. Annalise Bennett. Destiny Bennett. Shanika Bent. Nyla Bishop. Peter Gay Blair. Georgette Bolton Smith. Nastasia Bowen. Richard Bowes. Talisha Brooks. Daniel Brown. Jamie Brown Bailey. Alison Brown Tucker. Tamika Bryce. Treshawn Burrell Harriet. Matthew Burton. Mr. Burton has been awarded the Keith Stanford Sobian Memorial Special Bursary 2019-2020. He also shared in the Richard Wayne Lee and Charlene James Jarrett Memorial Prize, awarded to the students who were most involved in protocol and etiquette and co-curricular activities 2020-2021. Crystal Cameron. April Campbell. Ms. Campbell shared in the Client Interviewing Competition Prize, awarded to students who represented the law school in the Lex Caribbean Client Interviewing Competition 2019-2020. Beth Campbell. Jolene Campbell. Janelle Chambers. Ms. Chambers shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021. Davini Shell. Ms. Shell has been awarded the H. Aubrey Fraser Memorial Prize for Best Performance in Ethics, Rights and Obligations of the Legal Profession 2020-2021. Jason Shakalab. Ashley Clark. Kyla Clark. Shandira Codrington. Bolivia Cole, Kimoy Cowan. Ms. Cowan shared in the Honorable Justice Madge Morgan Memorial Prize 2020-21, the Philip C. Jessup Memorial Mooting Competition Prize 2020-2021. Dainty Davis, Dwight Davis, Mitzi Davis, Melissa Dennis, Kimoy Donaldson, Livingston Duane, Theodore Duncan, Shaheem Dwyer, Travis Ebanks, Kimberly Edwards, Britannia Edwards, Zoya Edwards. Ms. Edwards has been awarded the Council of Legal Education Prize for the Most Outstanding Year 2 Student in the Legal Aid Clinic 2020-2021. Shanice Evelyn, Patricia Fisher, Crystal Fleming, Duke Foote, Tonianne Forbes, Brian Forsyth, Zonia Foster Forbes, Tanya Francis Clayton, Benjamin Fraser, Krishana Friginet, Simone Gardner, Alicia Garraway. Ms. Garraway has been awarded the William Roper Memorial Prize for Best Performance in Conveyancing and Registration of Title 2020-2021. Alea Gomez. Ms. Gomez shared in the Caribbean Court of Justice Competition Prize 2019-2020. Sanjay Gordon, Chrisleisha Gordon Burton, Richard Goldburn. Mr. Goldburn has been awarded the Michael March Memorial Prize, awarded to the Year 1 student with Best Performance in Law of Remedies 2019-2020, the William McCoy and Palmer Prize, awarded to the first year student with Best Performance in Criminal Practice and Procedure 2019-2020. The Arthur Glenroy Cruikshank QC JP Memorial Prize, awarded to the male Year 1 Jamaican student with Best Performance in Criminal Practice and Procedure 2019-2020. Christina Graham, Javed Grant, Marsha Alicia Grant, Marsha Dion Grant, Radine Grant, Rachelle Grant, Raina Grant, Tamara Grant, Tashana Grant, Stacian Gray, Tanya Gray, Brandon Gray, Kimberly Gray, Anita Hall, Shavor Hamilton. Mr. Hamilton shared in the Richard Wayne Lee and Charlene James Dart Memorial Special Prize, awarded to the students who were most involved in the Protocol and Etiquette Program and Co-Curricular Activities 2020-2021. Mia Hardee, Latoya Harriet, Akeem Harris, Jana Harris, Grace Harry, Natoya Ashley. Miss Ashley has been awarded the Arthur Scofield Memorial Prize for the Most Outstanding Student in Probate Practice and Procedure 2020-2021, the Beresford Hay Prize for the Most Outstanding Student in Probate Practice and Procedure 2020-2021. Zara Marie Henry, Abigail Heslop, Chantel Hobson, Andree Holness. Miss Holness has been awarded the Dr. Ralston Clifford Memorial Prize, awarded to the student with best performance in Forensic Medicine Examination 2019-2020, the Forensic Medicine Prize awarded to the student with the best A script in the Forensic Medicine Examination 2019-2020. Javel Ives, Winston Jarrett. Mr. Jarrett has been awarded the Honorable Mr. Justice James Carr O.J. Memorial Bursary. He shared in the Honorable Miss Justice Madge Morgan Memorial Prize 2020-2021 and the Philip C. Jessup Memorial Mooting Competition Prize 2020-2021. Ryan Johnson, Darius Joseph, Morgan Kellier. Ms. Kellier shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2020-2021, the Andrew Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize, awarded to the students who are most involved in student activities and showed most interest in the law school 2020-2021. Oksana Kennedy, Demoy Carr, Raquel Carr, Shamon King. At this time, we will take a short break for a musical interlude, and then we will continue with the presentation of graduates. Excellent. There is musical talent at the law school. Welcome back. I will now continue with the presentation of graduates. Rashid Lee. Tony Lee. Abigail Laiba. Rashina Lemard. Abigail Letman. Ms. Letman shared in the Criminal Practice and Procedure Prize 2019-2020. Lisa Mae Lewinson. Leodis Logan. Ms. Logan has been awarded the Course Director's Prize, awarded to the first-year student with Best Performance in the Law of Evidence Examination 2019-2020. Tamira Mason. Matthew McAnuff Jones. Gordon McFarlane. Ruth Magrauda. Mercedes McKinley. Movita McNaught Williams. Cadian McNeil. Colin McPherson. Deandra McPherson. Ms. McPherson shared in the Client Interviewing Competition Prize, awarded to students who represented the law school in the Lex Caribbean Interviewing Competition 2019-2020. Ariana Mills. Allison Mitchell. Dimitri Mitchell. Marcus Moore. Nofia Morgan. Maxine Morris. Sharon Morris. Claudine Morris. Anisha Morrison. Peter Gay Monroe. John Nemhard. Tandy Nunes. Shanice Paul. Ayadede Pepple. Kimika Peterkin. Jacob Phillips. Mr. Phillips has been awarded the Michael Nunes Memorial Prize, awarded for the most outstanding performance in Law of Association 2020-2021. The K.C. Burke Memorial Prize, awarded for the most outstanding performance in Law of Association 2020-2021. Luke Phillips. Matthew Phillips. Chantel Phoenix. Andres Pierce. Rachel Poole. Janelle Powell. Romay Quarry. Amanda Quest. Ms. Quest shared in the Norman Manley Law School Prize for Community Service 2019-2020, the Caribbean Court of Justice Mooting Competition Prize 2019-2020, the Andrea Gabriel Lloyd Memorial Prize 2019-2020. Tamoy Reed. Raffadel Reed. Marquella Rochester. Therese Saunders. Susan Scarlett. Moonmati Sitaram. Nicole Senior. Kemar Setal. Renice Simpson, Ashley Sinclair, Jodian Small, Rave Small, Kevon Stevenson, George Stewart, David Stone. Mr. Stone has been awarded the William McCoy and Palmer Prize, awarded to the final year student with a minimum of 5 A's over 2 years and involvement in co-curricular activities at the Norman Manley Law School 2019-2021. Damoy Thompson, Tahir Thompson, Stacian Hewlett, Candice Walker, Shanoy Washington, Danielle Watson. Miss Watson has been awarded the Karen Hugh Samley Memorial Prize, awarded to the student who is seen as a good ambassador of the Norman Manley Law School over a 2-year period, 2019-2021. Ms. Watson also shared in the Philip C. Jessup Memorial Mooting Competition Prize 2020-2021. Renee Webster. Ms. Webster shared in the Criminal Practice and Procedure Prize 2019-2020. Leigh Ann Wellington. Anne-Marie White. Emmanuel Williams. Javier Williams, Kadia Williams, Laura Williams, Orain Williams, Petrita Williams, Richard Williams, Joseph Willis, Shireen Willis, Shantae Wilson, Tamira Wilson, Tashana Wilson, Charles Young, Shamelia Young, Joanne Zuniga Stewart. The following 6-month candidates have satisfied the requirements for the award of the Legal Education Certificate. Makeda Bramwell, Carla Erskine, Takis Gilpin Allen, Jason Guild, Infatari Hanley, Sharu Narang, Darrell Palmer, Leandra Smith, Joseph Wowo. That brings me to the end of the presentation of graduates. Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman.
It is my privilege to welcome also His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton, Governor General of the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis, and himself a first graduate of both law schools, to deliver the feature address at your graduation. Born in St. Kitts, Sir Tapley is a son of Caribbean soil. He attended the University of the West Indies, graduating with a Bachelor of Laws degree with honors. Sir Tapley received his legal education certificate from the Council, having attended Year 1 at Hugh Woodin and Year 2 at Norman Manley. A man of many firsts. Among the first cohort of graduates from the UWI Faculty of Law, as well as Norman Manley. The first from this cohort to take SIL. At age 29, Sir Tapley became not only the first, but the youngest Attorney General of an independent federation of St. Kitts and Nevis on September 19, 1983. We, the Council, thank him for affording us this honor and welcome him. Welcome and thank you, Sir Tapley.
Mr. Reginald Armour, Senior Counsel, Chairman of the Council of Legal Education. Ms. Carol Aina, CD, Principal of the Norman Manley Law School. Principals of the Hugh Wooding Law School and the Eugene Dupuche Law School. Staff and students of the Norman Manley Law School. Graduates, ladies and gentlemen. Greetings. I wish to thank the chairman and members of the Council of Legal Education and the Norman Manley Law School for your kind invitation to me to speak to you at this most auspicious occasion, the graduation of the class of 2021, and in this, our 50th year. Some years ago, I was offered the opportunity to address both the Hugh Wooding Law School and the Norman Manley Law School, which were well-received invitations on my part, such as this. Although it was many moons ago, I can well recall my own graduation from this institution. At that time, I had the singular and unique distinction of having attended both the Hugh Wooding Law School and the Norman Manley Law School. I had completed my first year in Trinidad, but I was prevailed upon by my government to proceed to Jamaica to attend a Commonwealth Legislative Training Program at North Street, Kingston. Fortunately, the then director, the late and revered Justice Aubrey Fraser, permitted me to attend the downtown classes in the mornings and classes at the law school in the afternoons. Fortunately, many friends at law school assisted me with the transcripts of classes, and the tutorials were structured for the afternoon. I was able to later build on that structure and exposure by qualifying as a legislative draftsman at the University of Ottawa. Up to today, so many of my fellow graduates in Jamaica and I enjoyed a most treasured relationship. And every time I visited Jamaica, they have hosted me to a gathering. Furthermore, a few years ago, we all attended a reunion in Florida at the residence of one of our colleagues. I say all of this to emphasize to you that you need to treasure the friendships which you have developed at law school. Your colleagues can become extremely helpful to you in your practice. So many times they can assist you, especially if yours is a sole practice. And even as a member of a firm, you can rely upon your colleagues to assist you. I found this extremely useful in my own practice. A matter of concern for me is the decreased respect for the ethics of our profession. We used to be labeled as honorable and noble, but increasingly I see reports of some of our colleagues being charged before the court and ultimately struck off the roll on account of being accused of tampering with clients' funds. A fundamental principle of our practice is a respect for clients' funds. They are not yours and ought to never be employed in your own activity, thereby depriving your clients of their bounty. I am truly distressed at the number of matters which I see reported in the regional media. I exhort and implore you, the graduating class of 2021, to respect the principles and practice of our profession, thereby renewing the good faith entrusted to it. One other attribute of classes past was a sensitivity and recognition of the responsibility placed on us as persons trained in the law to guide our societies on matters of the law. Join your association and speak out on matters that appear to you a digression of our unconstitutional trespass on the law. We have been afforded the privilege of being learned in the law. And with this number of law graduates in the region, we need to recognize our leadership roles by way of private and public service. Ours is a commitment, indeed, to truth and justice. I'm a strong advocate of public service and would always stress that the opportunity to speak about its merits. It has been my distinct privilege to serve as Attorney General of my country, St. Kitts and Nevis, for a period of 15 years, 1980 to 1995, and that capacity to have taken part in the formulation of our country's constitution at independence. After a 10-year period in private practice, and having served as president of my own bar association and the OECS Bar Association, today I'm privileged to be Governor General and Head of State since 2015, and now enabled to render further public service at the highest level. Public service gives so much exposure to and experience in so many areas of the law, serving to equip you to participate in many areas of our law. It is a special opportunity that's once presented ought not to cause any hesitation on your part to accept. I relate my story because it may serve to inspire you to give of your best at all times, to advise the best of your abilities, and to play whatever role you may be called upon to do. I again salute the Council of Legal Education, on which I was the first former student member, for providing me with a sound legal education. Through long service in the Council of Legal Education, I was afforded the opportunity to interact at meetings with the judicial and legal icons of our region. Those friendships were developed and proved impactful, long-lasting, and most beneficial. I extend best wishes to all of you on the successful completion of this step in your professional training, and extend again best wishes to you for your future professional development. Thank you.
Chairman of the Council of Legal Education, Mr. Reginald Amor, SC. Our guest speaker, His Excellency Sir Tapley Seaton, GC, MG, CVO, QC, JP, Governor General St. Kitts and Nevis, Miss Carol Aina, CD, Principal of the Norman Manley Law School, Principals of the Hugh Wooden Law School and Eugene Depuche Law School, staff and students of the Norman Manley Law School, fellow graduates, ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you all. It is my distinct honor to address you all on behalf of the Class of 2021. Class of 2021, congratulations. We've made it to the finish line. We are officially graduates and alumni. Today is a defining milestone in a very long, tiring, yet fulfilling and blessed journey. The world we live in today is plagued with challenges, the most prevalent of them being the seemingly never-ending COVID-19 pandemic. Along with the pandemic came other challenges, including curfews, lockdowns, virtual classes, and Zoom court. But despite all these challenges, we, the Class of 2021, still managed to see ourselves through to the end of this journey. It was only 2 years ago, and for our 6 months, 1 year ago, that we came to this labyrinth known as the Norman Manley Law School. As Charles Dickens puts it, it was the best of times it was the worst of times. Our journey together mirrors the metamorphosis of a butterfly. The butterfly is admired for its beauty and grace, but if we look closely, we see that the process of its transformation from an egg to the adult butterfly is not an easy task. It takes time, as did our journey. You will recall the anticipation and sheer glee we felt as we held our offers of acceptance in our hands. This was the beginning. In this very moment, we became the eggs of the butterfly. As it is very hard for every egg to go through the stage of the caterpillar, so too was our first term at the law school. Some of us would have left our respective LLB programs being scholar students, Dean's List awardees, even graduating with prestigious classes of degrees. Little did we know that interesting times were ahead. It was a fight to finish on this winning streak. Things became intense. We were first confronted by our first graded assignment. Yes, Mr. Stefan Hosch. After completing 5 different drafts and debating amongst ourselves which court was the appropriate court to bring his bail application, many of us were awoken with the devastating reality that law school really was no faculty, as we were greeted with less than flattering grades. We spent sleepless nights trying to figure out whether the evidence was hearsay, original, or an acceptance to the hearsay rule. By this time, we became caterpillars. We were 3 months into our first year, but we were in a constant state of evolving, which brought about frustration, confusion, and yes, stress. The CPR and coffee became our best friends by this time. Our glee reduced as the days went by, as having it all together became an insurmountable task. Though we didn't appreciate it at the time, upon reflection, Senior Tutor Emerita Miss Dorcas White's golden rule to just write every word I say, it will all come together at the end, was crucial. As politely as she could, she opened with an assurance that she didn't speak loudly and gently suggested that we moved to the front of the class. By the end of the term, we were rushing for the seats in the first few rows. As predicted, it came together in the end. But from this, another important lesson was learned, that we are creatures of instructions. We salute Miss Dorcas White for her years of service to generations of attorneys. We were always in her prayers. She has indeed left an indelible mark on our psyche. By this point, we were getting used to the rigors of law school and finding our rhythms. Some of us had to not only endure this until 9 p.m., sometimes 10 p.m. with group meetings, but after a taxing day at work. This was by no means easier for our colleagues who had to beat the rush hour morning traffic, daring to not be more than 15 minutes late, or we'd miss that golden register. It was March 10, 2020, when a student interrupted our landlord and tenant lecture to announce Jamaica's first recorded case of the novel coronavirus. To our surprise, lecturer Miss Tara Carnegie continued her lecture on the obligation to not commit waste. We were now in unprecedented times, as COVID-19 began to spread across our region and world. Our in-person academic experience came to an unexpected end. With our borders closing, lockdowns and curfews being implemented, our online journey began. We salute the members of staff who worked assiduously in facilitating this transition into what became our new normal. With this new normal came new adversities. One of them, of course, being a 24-hour take-home examination, the first of its kind within the council. But just like the caterpillar, we were resilient. We met with our study groups online daily, and later, we individually found the endurance to face July 1st to July 16th. On August 31st, 2020, we, the class of 2021, got our first taste of victory, and it was sweet. Then came second year. As many of us looked towards experiencing the Gibraltar building for classes and mock trials, COVID-19 had other plans. By now, we were completely online. Our daily routine of rolling out of bed, showering, putting on our blazers over our pajama pants, hitting join this meeting just in time to say present miss, became our daunting reality. In our second year, we knew the game, or so we thought. We survived our first year and established the precedent for take-home exams. By then, we became the chrysalis or pupa. We owned our existing caffeine habits into crippling dependencies. We successfully haggled with our schedules. When to sleep, when to study, when to eat, when to read incredibly lengthy judgments, when to tell our bosses we needed a day off to participate in our mock trials, and when to see our families, even though we were home. Who would have thought that preparing for and actually conducting mock trials could have been done virtually? We, the class of 2021, conquered that. Though we thought we knew the game by now, by the end of second semester, sometime mid-January 2021, came the numbing, constricting depression, with the looming darkness on the horizon of legal aid assessments, assignments, court reports, mock trials, and of course, 24 hours exams. By then, everything that could go wrong went wrong. The COVID numbers were skyrocketing, courts were closed, and we still were not able to progress that one legal aid file. Just like the chrysalis, we were under immense pressure. Despite this, we, the class of 2021, persevered. Our very own Miss Samantha Grant, Miss Danielle Watson, Miss Kimoy Cohen, Mr. John Mark Reed, and Mr. Winston Jarrett would have embodied our tenacity when they qualified for the advanced rounds of the 2021 staging of the Philip Jessup International Law Moot Court Competition. We salute them. Though we were socially distant, we were virtually together. We, the class of 2021, with our collaborative creativity, innovation, and commitment to continuing our experience as if we were in person, hosted a virtual sports day, mooting competitions, professional and personal development sessions, and of course, a virtual silk. A history-making production by the class of 2021, led by our chairman of the Cultural and Entertainment Committee, Mr. Tahir Thompson. As we approached our final days of this journey, our goal was set. We were ready to leave our cocoons. We buried ourselves in textbooks, judgments, legislations, and our study guides, arming ourselves for what we hoped to be our final battle. Today, on this day of our graduation, I can proudly say that we, the class of 2021, are finally butterflies. Just like the butterflies, Our journey was excruciating, but it was definitely worth it. In law school, we are taught to think like an attorney. But I pray that while doing so, we don't forget how to also think like human beings. I hope that we allow ourselves to stay rooted in our beliefs, but still have the courage to change our views as we evolve. That we remember that experience is needed to gain wisdom. That we do not always equate logic with strength. That we do not always equate emotions with weakness. I believe that as budding attorneys, we have a call to be civic leaders within our communities, and that is done by living a life of compassion and empathy for others. So my hope for us is that we choose not just to be attorneys. My hope for us is that we choose to be advocates, peacemakers, and leaders. That we choose to be architects who create and work on building a better world, not just for ourselves, but for others. We owe this day not only to ourselves, but also to those who have helped us along this journey. Firstly, we must thank our Heavenly Father, who has given us the perseverance, wisdom, and strength. Thank you to the administrative and support staff of the Norman Manley Law School, led by our principal, Miss Carol Aina. To the academic staff, led by senior tutor, Miss Eulalie Greenaway, who have molded our minds and our skills into the ardent, competent advocates we are today. We give thanks. We must also thank our families and loved ones for their patience, understanding, and support. Special commendations must be given to our stream representatives over the period: Miss Samantha Grant, Mr. Livingston Dehaney, Miss Allison Mitchell, and Mr. Siobhan Hamilton, and our seminar representatives who served us well over the 2 years. Special thanks to you, our Students Association, led by our President, Mr. Nathaniel Amor, and our Vice President, Miss Paige Gordon. They have undoubtedly made this academic experience, especially our transition to virtual classes, an easier load to bear, while enhancing our students' experience with their ingenuity. COVID-19 has affected many facets of our lives. We pause and mourn those we have lost along the way, our colleagues, our family members, or loved ones. To my classmates and colleagues, hopefully to be the newly called attorneys at law, from Jamaica to Belize, to St. Kitts and Nevis, Anguilla, Antigua and Barbuda, Montserrat, Guyana, and also to my colleagues in the 6 months program from the United States of America, Canada, and the United Kingdom. It has been an honor sharing this academic journey with you all. It is now our time to take on the world. And while doors of opportunity will be opening for us soon, I implore us to walk between the raindrops. Years from now, we are going to look back at our law school days and talk about our accomplishments, and of course, the 8,965,000 seemingly impossible things we had to do along the way. We will all probably laugh about Miss Cola's Santa Baby performance at Silk 2020, Miss Morgan Kelly's performance as Mrs. Lashard in Silk 2019, Wine and Cheese, Mr. Davis and Dr. Glegg's stick figure drawings to explain concepts, catching a nap in the students' room between classes, and think to ourselves, it was definitely worth it. The only thing left for me to say now is congratulations to you, Class of 2021, the new legal butterflies. Legis actus nemini facit injuriam. The act of the law does no one wrong. Let this be your guide as we embark on our professional journey. I pray that when we next meet again face to face, it will be as colleagues at the bar. Thank you.